epic story time. What's good, grinders? There I was, fresh in the Marines, super young in the Marines, and I'm in Okinawa, Japan. All right, I had just got there, and for those that don't know, as in military personnel, you have to check in. So you're in your uniform, you have to check in. So when I go check in, I didn't know at this time, but I was gonna meet one of the greatest mentors that would affect my leadership and my Marine Corps career. So I go check in and I meet Gunny Peterson. Now, Gunny Peterson is this swole individual, super goddamn swole individual from Louisiana. It just so happened to be that I'm from Louisiana too, and he found out that I was from Louisiana, and he told me the words that he was gonna take care of me. Now I had no idea what that meant, but I've just figured, whatever. We got a little bond. It is what it is. All right. As some time passed, he promoted me, not by rank, but with billet. He actually promoted me to the company NCO for training, which means that I'm now in charge of the company's training. So I'm young and I'm in charge of all this stuff. So if anybody needs something, they had to come through me, which was kind of cool because he became basically my direct supervisor. I had a staff sergeant, an E6 ahead of me, and then right after him was Gunny Peterson. So he was my direct supervisor. So I was actually able to learn a lot from him and, take in everything he needs to get. Now, once again, this dude is swole. He's very athletic, very competitive, right up my damn alley. He used to have this challenge called the Gunny Challenge, right? Gunny Challenge is most times he'll try to, do these push-ups, and if you can outlast him in push-ups, he'll give you a day off. But he also was super fast. So his other challenge was if you can beat him in a race, he'll also give you a day off. Nope, I'm not gonna say that. There was only one guy that ever beat him over my career, over that portion of my career. I'll say only one person beat him. His name was Thompson, black dude from Louisiana, just so happened to be just beat him in a race, right? I was pretty fast back then, but you couldn't touch this dude. Anyways, after a few months pass, like I said, I'm still brand new. I actually get promoted to E3. As I get promoted to E3, he immediately puts me on a meritorious corporal board, which means if I win this board, then I automatically get another promotion. And I just got promoted. I had no idea what to do as an E3, and he already put me on this. So I go on this board, and I'm not gonna lie, I got smoked. And I'm talking about smoke check. It wasn't even close. It was not close. The things that they was asking me, I had no idea. My uniform wasn't where it needed to be, all that good stuff. So I got smoked. So after I seen Gunny Peterson, I was like, Gunny, what happened? I mean, I just went on this board and, I got smoked. And he smiles and he says, look, I already knew that you was gonna lose. I just wanted you to get the experience. So next time when you go on the board, you're gonna smoke check everybody. So that right there was just great knowledge to me, because he was more worried about my experience than me actually getting a promotion, which was amazing. I didn't take it in that point, but it was just like, it was really cool. So fast forward a little bit. He gets promoted to Chief Warrant Officer. Now he's an officer, and he goes to Cherry Point, North Carolina. All right. I was like, okay, I just got promoted too. So it just so happened, I was just like, I know where I'm going. If you go be in charge of these platoons that's out there, guess what? I'm coming too. So he went out there, and then I went out there. Now we're in Cherry Point. As soon as I get to this unit is the worst place. This is like the worst place in the Marine Corps I've ever been. And I'm not talking about just like a physical location, but the unit is garbage. So many DUIs, domestic violence, anything and everything you can name. This unit is jacked up. So I'm like, I take offense to this. I'm like, sir, like what's going on, sir? Like you got me out here and we in hell. So after a few months go by, I noticed that, with certain leaderships, it was able to start, we started lowering the DUIs, we started lowering the domestic violence, all that good stuff. And it was because he was in charge of the actual, the platoon now, that, because of his leadership, because he really didn't like that. Yeah, everything started to get fixed. All right. So fast forward a little bit now. While I'm in Cherry Point, now I'm an E4, I'm a corporal, which is awesome because I'm able to still go out there and work on the gear, but I'm also able to mentor other Marines, which is amazing. So on this one particular day, we was out there fixing some gear or whatever, and we couldn't figure it out. For the life of us, we couldn't figure it out. So he came out and he actually said these words, was stuck to me to this day. He told me, he said, look, the gear is already messed up. All right. I don't care if you break some stuff, just learn how to fix it. And then at the end of the day, if you have to spend money, it's not your money. So if we have to order parts, that's not coming out of your pocket. Order what you need to order as long as you learn how to fix the gear. So that was another pivotal point in my life. I'm just like, wow, because I was, if you worried about the budget or whatever, but it's like, once again, this is about the experience. So he wanted me to have that experience. So I became a beast at fixing gear. All right. Speaking of that, fast forward a little bit else. Now we actually are in Afghanistan, right? We're in Afghanistan. And for those that don't know, Afghanistan, especially in the military, you don't have the same capabilities. You don't have the same tools. You don't have the same stuff. So you gotta improv a little bit. You gotta what they call Jimmy rig. You gotta fix some stuff without fixing some stuff. We'll just say it like that. So in Afghanistan, two pivotal points that I learned from him in Afghanistan. One was it was about like 3 a.m. in the morning, about 3 a.m. And then one of the generators on the flight line actually gave out, right? So whenever a generator gives out on the flight line, you automatically got to respond. Don't give a damn what's going on. You got to go respond because that's the flight line, right? So our thing was, we had the generator. We had personnel. We just couldn't get the generator to the flight line. Why couldn't we get the generator to the flight line? Because we couldn't load it, right? So here's the crazy point, right? In Afghanistan, I actually taught myself how to drive a forklift. Now, I wasn't licensed on this forklift, but I could whip that bad boy like it was nothing. All right. So I told him, I was like, look, man, I'll load it. I'm fine with loading it. So he actually let me put it on the truck. And then after he let it put it on the truck, once again, it's just like, well, how are you going to get it off the truck? So I'm looking at him and I was like, look, sir, I'm not certified, but I can make sure it happens. So this was like another pivotal point. This was like another respect moment that I had for him. He actually said, look, just go and offload it, be safe. And if anybody says anything, just refer them to me. So in other words, hey, I got your back. So if anybody say anything to you, tell them that I told you to do it. And right then and there, that's a big respect for me. So we go deliver the generator. Everything was amazing. All that good stuff, right? So at this time, he sends me on another mission and I have to go, go fix some other stuff at a whole nother location. All this stuff. I was out there for about 2 months. I come back, after I come back, this was like really one of the biggest stories I ever remember when it comes to him, right? So I get back and he's like, look, we got this gear. I need you to go find everything that's on this list. He gives me a laundry list of things that I got to go find, right? The only thing that I didn't find on this goddamn list was one pump, right? So I go up to him after about like a week. I go up to him and I searched this whole damn base. I went all around Afghanistan trying to find this goddamn pump. So I go up to him and I say, hey, look, sir, I went all over these places. I tried to find this pump. I can't find this goddamn pump. He was like, don't worry about it. Just, keep looking for it, blah, blah, blah. Cool. About 2 days passed by. And I hear this voice. Come here, Guillory. Now, he was swole. Once again, hey, no disrespect. Chief Warrant Officer Peterson swole the shit, but he had a very, very small voice. It sounded like he was sucking on helium. But either way. So he calls me, and then as I look over, he's standing right next to a pump. And I'm like, I be goddamn. So I go over there, and I check the serial number, because I already had the serial number memorized, because it's the only thing I couldn't find. And he's standing right next to this pump that I couldn't find. And I'm like, where the hell did this pump come from, right? The funny part about this pump was I'm water side, so I deal with, plumbing, water, anything like that. And then you got electricians that deal with generators, electricity, all that stuff. The pump was on their side of the lot. Nobody ever went over there and checked. Oh my God. So he gave me a speech of what he always used to say, even when I first met him. One of his greatest sayings was, inspect what you expect. What does that mean? That means whatever you expect, even in life, you need to make sure that you inspect and make sure that it's actually getting done. So because I didn't inspect what I expected, I definitely couldn't find that pump, but he found that pump nevertheless. Fast forward a little bit now. Now we're back at Cherry Point. Everything's going well. You know, we're fixing everything. We're doing everything. And he starts feeling himself now. So he throws out another challenge, right? A racing challenge. Whoever can beat me, you know, you get a day off. So I'm like, cool. Now, at this point, once again, this is years. This is years. This is not Okinawa. This has been years. He's 40 something now, right? He's still athletic. He's still swole, but he's 40 something. I'm mid 20s. I'm in my prime. I'm ready. So I take on the challenge. Now, I gotta admit, I smoke checked the shit out of him. Oh, I smoke checked the shit out of him. Talking about a high five to me. But at the same time, I'm lying. I won. Nevertheless, I freaking won. I won. But I literally only won like by a little bit. Like my nose was just across the finish line. But anyway, I haven't beat this dude in years. I've been knowing him for years and nobody has beat him. I'm pumped up. I'm talking my shit. I'm doing my walk. I'm doing everything I need to do, right? So I go up to him and like, what's up, sir? What's up with my day off? Now, once again, I'm a sergeant now. I'm an E5 now. So he looks at me and he's like, look, you're a sergeant now. Go ahead and give your day off to somebody else. And he walks off. He smiles and he walks off. And that was another thing that, you know, I respected about him, which brings me to my last point. Another one of his rules was never question leadership. Now, this was the only rule that I couldn't completely agree with because I just me and my nature, I question everything, you know, and I believe in questioning everything. I even tell my kids, hey, don't just take somebody's word for something, look it up and do all this stuff. But when he said never question leadership, I'm like, I can't necessarily vibe with that. Now, me developing my own leadership, I can honestly say that you should never disrespect your leadership, but you should question everything. You know, you should never ever take anybody's word, you know, for anything. You always do your own research and come up to your own verdict, especially in the Marines. Like, just because they got rank on their shoulders does not mean they got intelligence. I'm just being serious. But at the same time, because I met him and because he was actually a direct impact of my Marine Corps career, I was so grateful because I was able to develop my own leadership and he was able to guide me throughout my Marine Corps career. So shout out to Chief Warrant Officer Peterson, the swole man with the small voice. Not only did he have a small voice, but he also had small legs. So like, he was like a bodybuilder, but the only competition that he couldn't win was like the physique because his top body was amazing. His you know, his legs was not. I'm just saying, he's probably gonna curse me out after he hear this, but oh well, you know, oh well. At the end of the day, man, you gotta learn your own leadership. You gotta make sure that you learn from everybody. Inspect what you expect, and you know, eventually, if your mentor turned 40 and you 20 something, you're probably gonna beat him in a race. Just saying. As always, grind, prosper.